And I'm very glad that he is here. I think many of you are hopefully well aware of Gideon's International and the wonderful work they do of handing out testaments to people, believing in the power of God's Word to get into people's hands. And so Ben Coulter is here. Ben, will you come and give us an update of what's happening in y'all's ministry?
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. I'm a Jew. That was Elliot Ossoway. He was a devout Jew, in fact. Went on Friday night, Saturday morning, and thought he was close to God, or maybe didn't understand our relationship with God. But he led a life of sin. He was a travel consultant, and to make a long story short, his wife, because of his sin, threw him out of the house. He went to a hotel or motel with a gun to kill himself. But there on the television stand was a Gideon Bible. And he said, I want nothing to do with that. Threw it down and hit the ground, trying to kick it under the bed. But you know those old style beds, they were solid. So he kicked it and it opened up into a scripture. So he started reading it and kept reading it. And he contacted a pastor that night. And that pastor helped him lead him to the Lord. Today, Elliot Ossoway, I think you may have heard this story before from somebody else in the Gideons, but I always love to tell it. He is now a Southern Baptist preacher in North Carolina and a tremendous supporter of the Gideons, as you can imagine, because it saved his life. Well, who are the Gideons? Well, I think this church knows who the Gideons are, so I won't get in a lot of detail. But for professional business people and men and women who have devoted themselves to the idea of distributing Bibles around the world. But our main purpose is to lead men, women, boys, and girls to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. It's that simple. We're not a denomination, obviously. We come from all different evangelical denominations, born-again Christians. Right now, well, the ministry started in 1899 with 3 men. This ministry now has about 200,000 Gideons around the world serving to help print and distribute Bibles. Last year, we went over the 2 billion mark of Bibles distributed around the world. Well, how are they distributed? They're distributed on a one-on-one basis. So that it gives us the opportunity in some cases to walk people through these Bibles and to help lead them to Jesus Christ. And we do it through the highways and byways of every place in the world, just about. If you think about a place the Bibles can be distributed, not just in the hotels, these Bibles which you've all seen, but you've seen the Testaments too that we distribute to school children and other people around the world, first responders, soldiers, whoever it might be. How can you help us? Well, first of all, we need your prayers. We're challenged around the world quite frankly, around the world and in our own country. That's changing a little bit now because of a change of thought in this country. The other way that you can help is help support this ministry that we're doing. We distribute these life books now to school children. We can do this on a peer-to-peer basis. You may have seen these before. The prior year, we distributed over 3 million of these. So we can get into the schools not as Gideons, but we can help distribute. This is the book of John in a modern version. The other way you can help us is through new members. If your heart feels like that you would like to be a part of this ministry, let me know. I'll be at the back at the end of the service. The other way you can help us is obviously financially. Nearly every dollar, most of everything you give today, or when you give to the Gideons, is used to print and distribute Bibles. It's one of the few ministries that almost all the money goes to the Bibles themselves. So, and if you do checks, you make it to Gideon's International, or you can give cash. I'll be at the end of the service. I'll be available to if you want to visit with me, or there's an envelope attached to this where you can send a donation in. The other way you can help us, by the way, are through Gideon cards. And Pastor, what I'm going to do today, where are you, Pastor?
Right here.
I'm going to donate, Mary Lou and I are donating 5 Bibles in your honor and all the staff of this church for your support of the Gideons. And you've seen these cards before. I don't know if you got a display here.
We do.
You do. Great. Okay. You can not just when people pass away, but in their honor, thinking of you in recognition. We didn't do one in memory of you yet, Pastor. So, but this is in your recognition and for the staff.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for the chance to be with you today. We love you. If you want to stick around and hear more, I'll be in the second service. So we love you. Thanks for your support of the Gideons.